your co-host, Beck.
And I'm Steph.
Today we're going to grapple with reality from a book that wants to be forgotten, a drug-induced time traveler, an underground man who tries to make life worse for those around him and himself, a skincare-obsessed mother and daughter duo, and mythological love. But first, let's get into the tea of the week.
So, today I am drinking black tea. I would like to say I enjoy black tea, but that would be a lie. I enjoy black tea with sugar. Without sugar, it is simply hot water with aspirations, but I've decided not to sweeten it because suffering builds character. The ingredients are black tea, water, and regret. Regret isn't technically an ingredient, but it is in fact present. So, just so you guys know, Notes from the Underground has inspired me to turn everything into an unnecessary, philosophical crisis. More on that later. Yeah. What are you drinking?
I am also drinking plain ass black tea. I brewed it just a little too long, so it's bitter. Also, I couldn't tell you what it is or what company makes it because it was just in the cabinet because I couldn't be bothered.
And you probably have sugar, but you didn't add
I definitely have sugar. I just didn't. I almost thought about it. No, I don't. Taking it a step further and doing instant black coffee because what's more sad than that? But this is a tea podcast, not a coffee podcast. All right, so
we'll get into that later.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into that.
If you've read the book, it's gonna make sense. If not, it will.
If not, read it because there's a lot of good life lessons in there. But I'm going to start with the There Is No Antimemetics Division by QNTM. It is 220 pages. It was an audiobook. We're also going to get into that a little bit later, too, as far as if audiobooks count as reading.
Yes. Great discussion.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It is speculative fiction / weird fiction. Welcome to the Antimemetics Division. No, this is not your first day. Marie Quinn is the director of the Antimemetics Division. I have to be so careful with that. A secret organization that is at war with antimemetics. These are anomalies that have the ability to erase themselves from memory and perception. So, a meme, we all know what memes are, but it is an idea, behavior, belief, or expression that is spread through imitation, which is kind of a gene for cultural evolution. These are antimemetics, so they stop as soon as, a lot of them, you turn around and you forget about them. They've existed for millennia. One such antimemetic only eats the memory of a riding bike and claims that civilizations have been creating the idea of bikes since forever. He just keeps eating it. It's such a weird, fun book. Another one can only be perceived through the mind-altering substances and were worshipped by ancient peoples as gods. The division is up against a specific antimemetic, U3125, that is unsafe to harbor any ideas, thoughts, or memories about. And the division must rely on a drug that allows you to retain awareness, but has physical and cognitive harm. I think this is such a unique and clever book. When I was reading the audiobook, there is moments where, it's redacted, right? Because you can't think about or they eat your memory of them. So it would just be it was very clever. Funny. I liked it. Yeah. I hear in the book it does something specific as far as that concept as well, but it does blend cosmic horror, science fiction, and information theory. And it's split up into short stories that slowly morph into a bigger story. It kind of mirrors the concept of forgetting and remembering because you're put right in the middle of a short story, and then you kind of have to. It's so fun.
I love that. Yeah.
Some of I already said that. Some of the text is redacted, so it's a buzzing sound in the audiobook, which some found very irksome, but I find it charming. I think the more unique and clever that you can be with a audio representation, the better.
Absolutely.
I would 100% play this game if it was a video game.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Where did you find out about this book?
I think it was on my Goodreads, like, recommended.
Okay.
Because I don't know if you guys know this, but we were off of TikTok for a little bit. We also have not qualms, but we don't necessarily always fit the same vision as other book talkers, so it's hard to get good recommendations from.
It is. Sometimes it is.
I mean, which I don't mean that the books that you guys are recommending aren't good in their own inherent value, but for us,
right,
it's just not our cup of tea.
So stupid. I love it. Cool.
So
that sounds like a fun one. That sounds really fun.
Do you want to talk about yours? Yeah.
Yeah. So I read The House on the Strand, who is by Daphne du Maurier. She wrote a book.
Rebecca. Yeah.
And I want to read that too eventually. I want to read like all of her books because this book was so good.
Yeah, she's really good at writing.
Really good. Yeah. 316 pages, and it was published in 1969. So the premise is it follows Dick Young, who stays at an old estate in Cornwall, shush, and tests an experimental drug from his scientist friend Mangus. The potion lets Dick mentally project into the 14th century Cornwall as a ghostly observer of medieval drama going on, and his growing addiction to going to that time and taking this substance blurs the past and present with dangerous results. So Dick is an asshole. Dick is a dick. No.
Imagine that.
He's very unhappy, unhappily married, kind of going through the motions of life, right? Just, he's bored. He isn't happy. He's not like depressed. He's just there, right?
Right.
Just stagnant, whatever. So he begins this drug-induced journey. So Mangus like convinces him, like, you got to try it. He's doing experiments.
Yeah.
To, like, it's deeper than just like I almost spilled. It's deeper than just
spill the tea.
Yeah, than like doing this drug. There's a lot more to it than that. But anyways, Mangus convinces him, and he ends up going on this like drug-induced journey, pretty much, where he likes to get away and he like gets to escape everything. However, he becomes obsessed with what he is witnessing in that time, and that's around the 1300s. There's like a whole family drama going on. There's a woman he's attracted to, like it's this whole thing, and he's an outsider watching this all play out. And he becomes so obsessed that he neglects his real life responsibilities and becomes like a really hateful, spiteful man, because of how obsessed he has become with this other world, right? So not only does it cost him his relationship with his family, it also comes with many health concerns. So blurred lines, and like when he comes to, he's sick. He like has to come down pretty much. And it's funny because they call it going on a trip. It just made me laugh. But he gets sick, and then he mixes, like he forgets things that were there. Like he mixes reality and where he was. He'll forget. It just all starts blurring together to an extent. So it becomes like a major point of contention and hits ahead when Mangus is found dead. And yeah, there are rules you must follow while you're there in Kilmarth. That's what it was called then. And one of the most important one is to like never touch what you observe and never interfere with what's going on. The police come, he starts telling stories about things that happen there because he forgets that it's crazy. It kind of goes everywhere. I don't want to give too much away because it deserves discussion. So the end, I have many thoughts on what happened. It's definitely something where I think everyone kind of gets something different out of it. I really want you to read it because I want to know what you think happened.
Sure.
To know if it's what I think happened. It's like a really fun book. It would be really fun to discuss, like what you think happened. What I think happened is I haven't seen a lot of people interpret it the same way. I may just be dumb. I don't know, but I took it a completely different way than most people. So I was just curious. Like, I'd be curious for our readers too if you read it. It's so good. But anyways, yeah. Really interesting. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
Fantastic. Yeah, I definitely do
really
like
good,
her.
Really interesting. Yeah, so
as
good.
An author anyway. So
yeah,
I'll add it to the
do it
soon so we don't forget about what happens. Talking about forgetting your memories, the next book that I read, well, the next book I read was Notes from the Underground, but we're gonna come back to that. Was Rouge by Mona Awad. Some people do it differently. Yeah. It was 383 pages, horror fantasy. It was audiobook, but again, you can read the physical book if that is what you are into. Belle has just recently lost her estranged mother, Noelle, a French woman who has recently started losing her faculties. Both of the women are strangely obsessed with skincare. Belle finds herself traveling back to Southern California to pay her respects and her mother's debts, it seems. A strange woman appears at the funeral to offer some clues into the last few days of her mother's life. Taken to what seems like a French spa, Belle and Hud Hudson, that's his name, Hud Hudson, start to uncover deep secrets. Goodreads claims this to be Snow White meets Eyes Wide Shut, in a surreal descent into the dark side of beauty, envy, grief, and the complicated love between mothers and daughters. It was fucking weird, dude. So weird. But that's my jam. I get off on that. Don't take that out of context. I enjoy weird books.
No, I know what you're saying.
It was written much like Bunny, where she just has like such a unique writing style that I really enjoy. It's a very odd tale. By the end, you kind of piece together what's happening, but I didn't find that like hand holding at all. She put enough information throughout the book that you kind of got to it. The only thing that I had qualms with was, number one, how many times I had to read Tom Cruise over and over and over and over and over and over. Because, okay, so the little girl, Belle as a little girl, is obsessed with Tom Cruise. So it's just in there a lot. Also, her choice of like adjectives it kind of takes you out a little bit. Like she'll use like redly, darkly, grimly, dark, yeah, like all the leaves. And I don't know. I feel like she could have probably chose better, but for the most part, I really enjoyed it. It's an odd tale that encompasses grief very well. Our society's obsession with skincare and looking young forever. And there is a little bit of like an allusion to sexual assault, like child sexual assault, and how that can affect you as an adult. So I do think that it's a good symbolism for all that. It's just maybe less Redleys, you know?
Yeah.
But
gotcha.
I liked it. Yeah.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to talk about Till We Have Faces by C.S. Lewis.
C.S. Lewis, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yes. So 313 pages and published in 1956. So the premise is this is a retelling of the ancient myth of Cupid and Psyche from the viewpoint of Aurora. So that's Psyche's older sister and the queen of the barbaric kingdom of Glome. So this book explores deep jealousy, self-deception, and a human soul coming to terms with the divine. So, I'm going to get a little more into the book, but Arul is not beautiful. She's unsightly. And she becomes deeply possessively attached to her younger half sister, Psyche. Bad. It's weird. She is educated by her tutor, the fox, and that's pretty much all she has in her life that seems to care for her when she's young. Psyche ends up having to be sacrificed to the brute of the mountain, Cupid. Auril then finds her alive, but Auril is spiritually blind, and she doesn't believe in all that, and doesn't see the palace that Psyche speaks of that apparently is right in front of her, and believes Psyche has gone completely mad and wants to rescue her from this place and her new husband she's always talking about that she's never seen. So Auril forces Psyche to doubt her divine husband and betray him by shining a light at his face. She was never supposed to do that. She was forbidden to do that by him. And this results in the banishing of Psyche to a life of harsh penance. And Rule ends up wearing a veil and becoming queen. And then she decides to file a complaint to the gods in like a court where she realizes through speaking her complaints out loud, this wasn't love for Psyche. It was more of like a jealous possession. So a lot of self-realization when she does that. I won't say how it ends, but I will say my feelings for Rule were very conflicted. I felt sorry for her, and people were very mean to her about her appearance and her ugliness, right? There's such a sad quote, and it was she heard someone talking about her, and it goes, I'll read the quote because it was just so sad. I'm like, God dang. Why, yes, it's a pity about her face, but she's a brave girl and honest. If a man was blind and she weren't the king's daughter, she'd make him a good wife. After hearing this, she says that she considers these words the nearest thing to a love speech that was ever made for her. Fuck. Like, you're just reading it and you're just like, that is so sad.
Because
at the same time, her love for Psyche was deeply unhealthy. Psyche was wonderful. Like, not a bad person, very good to her. Nothing was her fault, but it was an obsession. And sometimes it sounded as if she was in love with her. Like, when you're reading it, you're kind of like, dude, Auril couldn't accept that Psyche could be happy without her when she went with when she got banished, and forced her to risk her pretty much complete bliss at a major cost. So I don't know, I sympathize with the Rule because, like, I can understand her point of view. So this book kind of shows you that you may not see it's faith driven. Like, you can't see it, but it exists, right? And me myself, like, not being a religious person, I can like sympathize with the Rule on that front. Like, she thinks her sister got mad. Like, who wouldn't? And but on that note, like, she does seem completely happy, so it's like, why don't you just leave her alone? If it's this whole thing. It was very much if you love her, let her go kind of thing, which was not something Rule wanted to do. And also, it paints a Rule in kind of a bad light, but I'm like, it would seem to anyone else that she has gone crazy. Like, but, well. Yeah,
So interestingly, I think so in the Women That Run with Wolves, right, there's a similar story of Blackbeard who kept telling the daughter not to go into a room. In that story, however, going into that room is her, like, security, her safety, because she figures out what actually happens to all of the other wives. In the Psyche and Cupid story, it's almost like this is what I have an issue with Greek mythology with our feminism here, is that it's like almost like a punishment to want to explore or think for yourself of like, because let's think modern times, right? If there is a man that told you, okay, you can live here, but you can't look at me.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Like, everybody would be like, that's a huge red flag. Like, leave him or leave us out of it type of situation. And so it's interesting that it's shown, like, I don't know. It's just, it's so anti, like, yes. Is all I can think about. Yeah. Oh, I hate it.
It's that. And it's insane that I see, like, I'm always going to TikToks where people actually, like, Greek mythology is the way, and they're, like, obsessed with it, and they do somewhat, like, worship that, and I'm like, do you know?
Like, do you understand what a woman's place in Greek mythology is?
I don't know.
Maybe I don't understand it either. Maybe there is like more contextual, but
I'm hoping that's what it is, because on the surface it makes no sense. Yeah, so this movie, this book, I do understand, like Rouge trying to save her for real, though. Like,
yeah, like,
you know, like, and it's supposed to be this whole story about, like, she shouldn't have done that, but it's like, Psyche was getting saved without realizing it.
If
that's fine.
I was in that situation, I would hope that somebody would, like, stick up for me, you know?
I try to remember, like, this is a book. This is
of course
old. This is fictional, but it doesn't matter, because so many things that you see in books you can compare to things that are, like, modern day actually happening now, even especially with Greek mythology. And so it's crazy to just see that, and, like, these are the seeds that were planted in people's head, and this is, you know, when you read the same kind of thing like this over and over, where a man has control over and over since the beginning of time.
Yes.
It sticks with you, and that's just how things are envisioned. And I read it, and I'm like, oh, or I'm supposed to read it and be like, oh, Rule's terrible. Why would she do that to Psyche?
Cupid deserved better. Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy looking at it the way, I don't know, from our
perspective. Yeah.
Different than I think most,
it is.
Honestly.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I do see, like, a lot of criticisms of the new Odyssey as well, as far as, like, depicting Athena as just, like, this woman instead of, like, the goddess of war. Legitimately.
I heard the women in the movie, I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either.
We're just extras.
Yeah.
Like, they were just there. There was no, and they are so important to all of the stories, but not in the movie. They weren't.
No, of course not.
You know, and I'm like, what else is new?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So anyway.
Now.
We're gonna, okay, so.
We have a.
Do you think, you folks, because I know what your answer is, do you think that listening counts as reading? This is a topic that was brought to our attention recently.
Yeah.
On a comment that we had. YouTube. Yeah. And by all means, like, I understand, like, that we're going to get comments and that it's a discussion, right? Because there is some, like, there's reason as to why some people might think that way. However, the science says. So surveys do show that around 40% of Americans consider audiobooks as fake reading. This could be a sense of pride or pretentiousness that you're not spending your time sitting down and reading. But who has the fucking time anymore, dude? But science does show that our language networks in our brain, and I do have a citation, there was a study done, that language network in our brain is processed the same way as reading and learning. And over time, our ability to, like, filter out other things gets better. While there are notable distinctions between two modalities, research has found that people are able to similarly recall and interpret content regardless of whether they listened to the book or read it as text. So, it counts as reading. I also think that this argument does discount a bunch of disabilities, blindness, dyslexia. I mean, I hate to use ADHD as like a crutch, but even that, like...
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
We also have strong oral traditions talking about the Greeks. Do you think they legitimately wrote down every book?
Yeah.
Every story? No. It was told through oral tradition. So... And children learn how to read on the laps of parents. So they're not...
Yes.
But
yes.
Anyway. To me, pronunciation and inflection are easier shown through audio than visual because, I mean, you can get italicized text, but that doesn't necessarily give you the inflection quite as much as somebody reading it to you.
Yes.
And it does feel much like we are gatekeeping real readers from fake ones. Like, we have a literacy crisis. Let everybody fucking read. Regardless of how they want. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I think it's very pretentious. That's what I think.
I think so too.
You didn't sit down and read it?
But you didn't actually read it, did you?
Then you didn't read it. Shut up. Yeah, I did. I took in the information, didn't I? We can talk about the story, can't we?
Yeah,
stop.
Look at us. Look at us.
Look at us. But I mean, I listen a lot more than I read now. That doesn't discount the fact that I'm taking in the information of these stories. Yeah, it is very gatekeepy and annoying, and just let people enjoy literature the way they want. Also, you mentioned this a while ago before I was really listening to audiobooks, that and I agree with you 100%. When you listen to classic Dostoevsky's perfect example.
Yes.
It is so much easier to listen to it than to read it. It is. The time's different, the language different, sarcasm's different. This is translated from a Russian author. Like, things are very different, and getting the person reading it to you, it helps with all that.
It does, because then you don't get hung up on names or context.
Yes, and it's not... Yeah. You just take in the story as it comes to you, and like, I do think it comes down to like, I'm better than you because
100%.
Open. There's no other way to take it. And you know what? If that makes you feel, if that's what you need to feel better about yourself,
so be it.
Go on. Just so you know, though, Beck did the research, and science shows.
And science.
You're wrong.
Science says you're wrong. So, now, I will say that as a society, I do think that we have allowed a little too many conveniences at the end of the day. Like, we, as a society, often... We'll get into this with the Underground Man, but as a society, we often take the easier way out. However, I don't think that this is necessarily a hill to die on with...
No.
Yeah. No. You need to do it the hard way. There's other hard things that I can do.
Yeah.
You know?
And I've read plenty of books like this. So what? Yeah.
I don't understand.
I don't get it. Like, of course, if I'm on an airplane or I'm going somewhere and I can just, sometimes I just want the book. Right. But when you listen or when you read as many books as you and I do and want to get through, there's so much I want to read. This will take me forever.
Forever. I'm still on the Moomins from a month ago.
Like, and if you think I'm dumb because of that, I don't really care.
No, at the end of the day, this is a moot point because I really do not care. I just want anybody that is maybe listening and think that they're less of a reader, that you are not.
Absolutely not.
You know the story, you've heard all the words, you have read the book. Yes. I don't care.
Agreed. 100%. So that guy was wrong.
Yeah. Whatever his name was.
It had nothing to even do with,
I know. I wasn't going to bring that up, but
it was the clip where we were talking about
what counts as being finished.
Finished or not. And my thing was, it's not finished till the last page.
Last page.
And we were talking about it, and I said, I was reading while listening, and so he said, the book isn't complete it's not word for word, but until you read the last page. And then, by the way, listening isn't reading. Just go. And we didn't respond. Like, I don't know.
No, I did actually, because I wanted to know why he thought that. Because
and he had nothing to say.
No,
he just left his comment and forgot about us.
Because legitimately, if we're going to leave a comment, I would like to have that discussion with you. I want to understand, why you think that and why you thought that you needed to add that into the context.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe I'm too.
No, girl, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Anyway, talking about allowing things being too easy, we not accidentally, we both saw that Notes from the Underground was free on Audible.
Yeah.
And then you can get it like on Kindle Unlimited too.
I loved it. I loved it so much.
I know you did.
Notes from the Underground by Fyodor Dostoevsky, 96 pages, published in 1864. So, premise basically, not much to talk about other than it's like a bitter, rambling memoir of an unnamed, isolated former civil servant known as the Underground Man, and he's living in St. Petersburg. So, I will add that
the first part is like ranting, and then the second part is what actually happens, if that makes sense.
Yes,
so.
It very much so. Yeah. Good point. So there's so much in like this 96 pages.
Yeah.
For me. It was written in 1864. So if you do the maths, quick math, it's 162 years old. And what an impact it had on me personally. This author amazes me like more and more every day, especially learning about him, which I'm going to get into that. I'm going to do a little history of Dostoevsky in our next podcast. So yeah, because we also have Crime and Punishment coming up. Yes, that's a big So our Underground Man here is he's like the definition of cynical. Mm-hmm. So believing like human actions are like driven, on base desires and personal gain. He's an extreme narcissist, in my opinion. Likes to blame everyone else to protect his own ego, kind of thing. His whole life, as I read it, has been like an existential crisis. Like everything. He only gets into a part of it, but just the way he is, you could tell he's just very bitter. And all the things like listed above, like that I read about. If he feels anything other than misery, like he immediately pushes it away. Like, yeah. The worst part about this character, though, is that like I relate to him. So yes, not as extreme, but in a way I cannot deny. So I have been in his shoes of self-pity, of masking, making excuses of things that are indeed my fault. And I won't get into anything too personal because it got pretty deep with me, but like a surface level kind of thing, just an example is Beck and I have been on like this health journey recently. Eating better, I'm in a calorie deficit, she's been going to the gym religiously and I've been like, me too. And then things happened and our AC went out. My kids were back. They were in band camp and getting ready to go back to school. I had family in town, la, 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 la. So a lot in my cycle, all right. A lot happened to make my gym routine pretty much non-existent. But now, today, for the past couple weeks, these excuses are like legit, or they're not relevant anymore. Yeah. And I haven't gone since. And I remember talking to you about it and going, it's just so hot. It's not a proper excuse to not work out in an air-conditioned, climate-controlled gym. Like, it's not. It's not. To be honest, I'm being lazy. And I didn't want to go, but I also didn't want to say that out loud. I didn't want to say like, oh, I'm being lazy, I just don't want to go. Because I like to have an excuse. Oh, and so I will search. I know I'm lying to myself. I will search my brain for reasons I can't go. It's hot. I'm not running outside. Like, it doesn't even make sense. So that is very like,
I do think that that is a common thing with most folks that are
absolutely.
trying to better themselves. And I hate to be that person, but when you actually get into it, it is so much easier than you think it's going to be.
Yeah. I worked out I was in the military. We had to work out. It was part of my life for 20 years. And then I got out of the military and got lazy, gained a lot of weight, a lot happened, and now I'm like, I need to fix this. So it's a very trivial, like, little, there was things that are much deeper that
100%.
that were dredged up that I'm not going to talk about on here, but like deeply personal. But the self-reflection I've got out of a 96-page book that was written 162 years ago is just insane. So it is easy to hate this man. And
yeah, this guy stinks.
Yeah, this guy stinks. I heard it when you look at Beck's review on
that's my review of this.
Goodreads. It was so funny. I started laughing so hard.
I think I'm the funniest person in the world.
I was laughing. Crack me up. You're a riot. So anyways, it's easy to hate this man, ask why he is so bitter, why he's an asshole. Like, doesn't he realize he has no one to blame but himself? Or no one to blame but himself? But what is much harder to say is, I have been him. I have self-loathed. I have blamed. I have pointed my finger at the world when I should have been looking in the mirror. But luckily, I am not content to be miserable, and I find joy in many things. So it is important to never fall in love with your misery, or should I say self-perceived misery. That's
Correct.
what I gotta say about that.
I think you did a fantastic job of encapsulating all of that. I agree 100%. I think he plays into the victimhood. He wants to be miserable. He does not take responsibility for his own actions. I mean, like I said, everybody has these moments of like just putting things off, and like mine is like I could scroll on TikTok for hours, and like there's so many things that I could be doing instead. Like I just feel too tired to make art or read a physical book or journal or any of that, but my phone's there. Yeah.
We all do it. And we all make excuses for it. And we all make excuses for it.
And it's terrible for you. I mean, it's just a brain dead activity. And like there's like social aspects, of course, like you have a sense of community kind of.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like I try to trick myself of like, oh no, I'm trying to find something useful. I gotta search this up, and then like I don't know, like 5 minutes later, I'm like, oh, just 5 more minutes.
And then I just watch it, that pisses me off, and then I get mad.
Dude.
And it's like, I was watching it. I chose to watch it. I see all these ads, I get mad. I text you, oh my God, all the ads. And it's like, but you keep going back, don't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I'm addicted, okay?
It's so funny because
it's TikTok's fault.
I'm going to admit this, so embarrassing. I do this fucking constantly. And daily, I find, I after reading this, I'll say something and then I'm like, I just fucking did it again. Like, I constantly make excuses for myself. It's a constant. And I think everyone does. And
it erodes your like self-confidence. It does, because you're telling yourself that you're not capable. Yeah.
Absolutely. And like with his story, it's a lot deeper. It's more of a
obviously,
I don't deserve, which again, that's the other stuff that
this shouldn't happen to me. I don't deserve this. Yeah.
Yeah, but I've been there. I mean, it dredged up some shit. I'm like,
yeah.
You know, and I think if you read this though and not relate to it, you're lying to yourself, or you didn't completely understand it. You should read it again. Not being, I'm just saying, there's no way you can read this
on a YouTube video.
Not on this deep of level, but you'll read
Right.
it and be like, because the whole time you're gonna be thinking about this guy and how horrible he is, and then you're gonna be like, if you do a little bit of self-reflection, you're like, oh shit, like that's
Fuck.
been me.
I've done this.
Yeah. So crazy how a book that old, like,
Mm-hmm.
just is so good.
It's also very interesting how a book that old can like still encapsulate the thought process. You know, like
Yeah.
not the entire time, but a lot of the time we're in his mind with him, and
Yes.
it's like relatable, huh?
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I do this when I don't like people too. Fuck.
Story in the beginning, and I'm like, oh my god, I relate to it. So I didn't go as far as he did or anything, but he's talking about how he passed this policeman. I might not get it perfect, but he was passing this policeman every day by the sidewalk, and he would always it's so funny because I'm this person. He would always move out of the way. Like, I'm gonna move out of the way and let this officer by or whatever. And then one day he's like, I'm not gonna move.
I'm not gonna move.
I'm not doing it. I'm gonna let him bump right into me. And it's such of a big deal to him. And
But it's not a big deal to anybody else.
No. And
does not matter.
I feel like I'm the one always moving, and then I'll see somebody and be like, I wonder if they'll move for me. Like, and it's not the same person every day like it was with him. And then it's always me that ends up moving, though, just because I think that's the people pleaser in me. It just,
well, yeah, and also like,
and consideration.
doesn't matter.
I'm not an asshole. I'm not. Yeah, but it is weird.
It is weird
that they have no
perception of this. Yeah,
no.
It's like when people sit in the middle of like a grocery store aisle. It's like,
yes,
have some consideration,
walking,
but
like, unless you're,
hey, they should. I'm gonna start just like giving out notes from the underground to people like that.
Give books to people.
Hey, excuse me.
Putting on people's cars who double park and like
like
that, like, but like when when someone's crossing a street in front of you, I always like put a little pep in my step and give a thank you wave. Yep. And go fast. I tell my kids, come on, like, people just, and then
nosy,
slow. And I tell my kids when people do that, or when people stop and just people are doing rude things and like inconsiderate, I'm like, these are the people who don't put their carts back in the corral.
100%.
That's who these people
drives
are.
me
like,
nuts. Yeah.
How hard is it? Put it back. Jesus.
I mean,
anyways,
in all reality, though, that does bring into the type of person that he is.
Yes.
Like,
but we don't let it take the joy out of everything. Like,
yeah.
Yes.
Well, no. I mean, they are like him because they're not. They're being so self-assured, so like what is it? They just think of themselves.
Yeah,
that's all that matters in this moment, and that's the real cautionary tale: is that you can't. That's why I can't do self-help either, is because you can't be so centered and reliant, and because at the end of the day, community is what matters. And I think that's what Dostoevsky is trying to tell us in a lot of these stories, is that when you get so in
the isolation
into yourself, it becomes an illness.
Well, yeah,
so
absolutely.
So you need to be able to have a little bit of people pleaser,
right? Yeah,
like you do need to bring back your cart. I 100% think that is like a sign of a sick society, is if you're not able to bring your own cart back.
Well, yeah,
there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, because how hard is it?
How hard is it? It's so it takes you 2 minutes, and it helps other people along the way.
And I don't like the excuse, I have kids. I have 3. I always put the cart back. I never just left the cart there because I have 3 children.
Park closer to the cart corral, then.
You push your kid. I would push Tanner in the cart corral back to the cart, get him out of the cart, and have my daughters hold each other's hand and hold my hand. Is it a pain in the ass? Not really. It's an extra 2 minutes. And and guess what my kids do now? When they're older now. Do you want me to take the cart back? Do you want me to take the cart back?
Yes,
so I'm raising good humans, because to them that's normal. Like, why would that is just habit now, because they saw me do it, they saw my husband do it, and so they do it.
And again,
I see carts everywhere, and I get so angry.
I do too.
We were at Safeway the other day, and like, it's hot in Arizona. I get it. I put my cart away. There was literally like 10 just sprinkled and just in the middle. blocking parking spaces. They a wind gust comes, forget it. They're running it. They're ramming into people's cars. It's just people are so freaking inconsiderate, and it drives me.
They are. And again,
nuts.
It gets back to the little conveniences that we've allowed ourselves. It's going to make you a better person if you actually take that cart back. It's going to make you a better person. It's going to create a better, like, self-confidence within yourself, because you know you're a good person for doing that. It's doing something hard also strengthens that, like, what is it called? Oh god, what is it called? Determination? No. Whatever. It strengthens your ability to, like, tell the truth to yourself.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It does. It does.
Build that consistency.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not that hard.
No, it's not. And
anyway.
Went off on a tangent about carts.
But I think it's important. True. Yeah.
Yeah. It is.
What? Okay, so what is the verdict on the 3 books that you read? Buy, borrow, or skip?
Okay, so for The House on the Strand, buy.
Okay.
Notes from the Underground, buy. Till We Have Faces,
borrow. Yeah.
Borrow. Yeah. Wouldn't skip it, but I'd borrow it.
I think mine. Sorry.
Yeah. No.
There's no Antimemetics Division. I would borrow. Rouge, I would borrow. And then Notes from the Underground, definitely buy. For sure. I wouldn't skip any of them. I think that's going to be a problem with us, is that if we're talking about it, it's probably one or the other. But I guess, I don't know, I DNF'd a couple of books lately.
Yeah.
Jason.
Oh, yeah.
But I just won't talk about those because it's just not worth my time. Yeah.
And some people like it and you don't want to
exactly
yuck their yums, right?
So what are you currently reading?
I finished Notes from the Underground.
Or, no, Crime and Punishment.
I finished Crime and Punishment is what I meant to say. So I'm reading I listened to The Secret History, as did you, and I became obsessed with Donna Tartt's voice.
God, it's so, I wish I spoke like that.
I love it. There's something so, like, old Southern, just not transatlantic, but just that old.
It's there a little bit. It's like
a
old.
Little. Oh, I just love how she talks, and I love her tone, and I just love how she said Judy Poovy and everything about her. No, I loved how. So, anyways, obsessed, right? So I'm like, let me look up every book she's ever narrated, and I found 3 that I haven't read. So I'm reading hers, which is The Little Friend.
The Little Friend, yeah.
Her book. I'm reading it. So her narration was like, was it like $10 cheaper than the narration by somebody else? Are you crazy? Anyways, I would have paid $10 extra for her.
Yeah.
Her voice is incredible. She has narrated True Grit, and she has narrated the art. I forget what it's called.
The Goldfinch?
No. She does not narrate that one, which I wish she did. That one that I think you would like a lot. I'm sorry. I gotta look.
Must have mistaken it as the Goldfinch.
Reclaiming Art in the Age of Artifice. Did you not see that, girl?
I thought it was the Goldfinch. I need to.
And I said,
yeah, I know.
The art one sounds like something you'd enjoy. Like, I think it's interesting, but you need to read that synopsis because I think you'll enjoy it. And then it's, Reclaiming Art in the Age of Artifice. There's 2 narrations there, and it's like a manifesto, but it sounds really interesting. And so anyways, she narrates that as well. So right now I am reading The Little Friend, or I'm listening to Jonathan. It's reading, but I just want to like emphasize,
yes,
her voice is freaking incredible, so listen to her. And so far it's pretty interesting. I'll get more into it our next episode when we talk about it. What are you listening to or reading?
I'm listening to Crime and Punishment. I think I'm like halfway through. I couldn't tell you because I have the complete works. So I'm at hour 230 or something.
Okay.
But so far, really am enjoying it.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. So just a reminder for anybody else that wants to read it with us, because we're probably going to do another deep dive like we did with The Underground Man.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's really good, but it is a lot. I do say if you decide to read it, or well, if you decide to read it, it's a little different, but if you decide to listen to it, you do kind of have to lock in.
You do. You do.
Yeah, I think it's a little easier probably to listen to it than read it because of its time and the language and a lot of dialogue, and the narrator is good at like separating that, but
yes,
it is a lot, and it is something you really got to lock in. I have a hobby of puzzles. I like to do puzzles, and I usually do puzzles while I listen, and I'm still able to do that, but anything else I probably couldn't even do laundry or dishes, because puzzles I can kind of do mindlessly, but anything where I have to like actually think or whatever, you know what I mean? It's I can usually listen to a book and do other things. I think it would be very hard to do with this book.
Yeah, because I was at the gym, and when you're counting reps, you can't you can't think of the same two things at once. So
right,
would recommend it being something that maybe you're doing monotonously, or listen to it and have the physical at the same time.
And have the book open in front of you, yeah. Or take notes and journal. You can highlight whatever works, because it is dense, right? It's dense. It's old.
I think the next one that, like the next Dostoevsky or classic that is dense and hard, I'm going to take the time and effort to actually. So we probably won't hear about it for like 3 months, but
yeah, I'm gonna take a little break.
It's recommended by some people to do 20 pages at a time and take notes while you're reading something that's dense like that, and then leave it at that, or review your notes and then do another 20 pages. Just so you're not like mindlessly doing it, you know?
Right, and forgetting key things. I do want to read The Idiot before I read The Brothers.
Yeah, I think I have had that in my Audible library for at least 10 years, because I put it in when I was going through school, and oops.
Yeah, I have a bunch of like spooky reads I'm going to be getting into soon. Let's go over those next month. Our
births. Yeah.
We can do that. I have a few. It'd be fun to talk about. But anyways.
So quick FYI on our programming. We figured that it would be best to do the middle-ish Sunday and the last Sunday of the month. So it just follows our ability to get to the read with S&B and all together, instead of like having a week left of a month, and then it's like, well, sorry guys. So that's why we decided to do last Sunday and then middle-ish.
Yeah.
So this is the middle-ish Sunday of the month, so that's why we're doing it today.
I think we skipped a week, right?
We skipped a week.
Yeah.
It does sometimes become an issue because somebody reads too much. No, I'm just kidding. You're just ahead of schedule. It's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you have anything else?
I don't.
All right. Me neither.
So don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. I've been your co-host, Stephanie.
And I'm Beck.
And this has been Novelty with S&B. See you in the next chapter, and visit your local national park, please.
Please. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.